I was thinking about my committee hearing, and of course, my history professor was the only witness against me. There was the only witness testifying against me that the college could call on. He was the only one. And I remember it got very divisive when he showed up, when he sat down to answer questions. And the committee hearing was clearly partial to the history professor because they were appointed by the college. They were the college. It was the college against me. They were accusing me, and then they were adjudicating me, and then they were deciding my fate. They were judging me. They were the judge, jury, and executioner. So the witness testimony was clearly an example of the partiality to the college. The tone of the ambiance of the committee hearing became very partial, became very serious when he showed up. They were clearly on the side of my history professor. And I remember one of the criticisms, or one of the arguments he used against me, which first of all was clearly unrelated, but the last discussion, this was after the fact, because he had these discussion questions. He would provide a topic based on a lesson, and we would have to discuss it, and it would have to be a rubric requirement, meet the rubric requirement, 8 complete sentences and sources from the history book. I actually thought it was quite fun. I actually enjoyed it. And then, of course, we would have to reply back to another discussion, to complete that discussion. And one of my replies to another student's discussion was, I said it violates the principle of academic integrity to not acknowledge that the 1956 Hungarian Revolution was in response to the collectivization, was causing famine in the countryside because the production quotas were meant to reallocate food supply to the urban centers to fuel the increasing demand from industrialization. This was the cause of the Hungarian Revolution, and thus was also caused decollectivization. That the Hungarian government, the Communist Party of Hungary, did meet the demands of the protesters and decollectivize. It wasn't until after the fact, when the protesters merged into a political movement for political pluralism, which would have been treason. Of course, the Soviet Union could never accept political pluralism. Then that would completely destroy the socialist state. But the economic demands originally met by the protesters were legitimate and was achieved. The Communist Party of Hungary did acknowledge and accept the demands of the protesters to decollectivize the cohorts, the collective farms, and restore private property rights to individual farmers in Hungary. That was successful. It wasn't until after the fact, and by the way, after the fact, when they emerged into a political movement for political pluralism, it's when the Communist Party of Hungary requested the assistance of the Soviet Union via the Warsaw Pact, which was also signed and agreed upon the same year, 1956. So this was the cause of the Hungarian Revolution. I said it violates the principle of academic integrity to not understand this, because this is the truth, to maintain the integrity of what we're being taught. And he used it to say that I was trying to promote a political agenda, or say it violates the principle of academic integrity. Of course it does. That's what I meant, and I explained my reasoning. I explained why, what caused the Hungarian Revolution. There isn't a sense of a universal truth. If there isn't a sense of universal truth of what is correct and true, what is the understanding of the topic, then why are we even there? You keep saying, well, history is subject to interpretation. Well, yes, but what's the interpretation based on? That's why we're there. That's what we're being taught. And we are supposed to, at least in theory, have academic freedom to exercise this right, to address any concerns we may have to what we're being taught. And that's what I was doing. They kept thinking I was promoting a political agenda. Like, you're the one promoting a political agenda by persecuting me. You're promoting liberalism. So if you don't want to promote liberalism, then allow me to exist. Jeez. So I was thinking about that. That was the last controversial issue I had in the classroom with my history professor before I was given the boot.